Hey, what's up? It's BadMad and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited to have you here today. I am demoing how to accomplish this look. This has been highly requested because I am a makeup artist. I've been a makeup artist in the fitness industry for the past several years. For today's tutorial, I wanted to make it affordable for you guys. So I'm not using products that are in my makeup kit particularly, or that I use in my stage makeup on my clients. These are all products that can stand alone. I don't want you guys to have to run out and spend $90 on a makeup palette for a look you're going to do a few times for stage makeup. I'd like to say that while doing your makeup seems like a good, cost-effective thing to save on, I would highly recommend booking a makeup artist if you are able to, for two reasons. One being, the morning of a show is so stressful. I personally would rather be sitting in a makeup chair and listening to music and chatting for 30 minutes and just letting the artist do their thing, rather than worrying and stressing out about it, worried if you're gonna do it right, if you're gonna, you know, be able to put your lashes on or anything like that. You just don't want that unnecessary stress. Secondly, we makeup artists are professionally trained on how to color match you. Color matching is a huge aspect to stage makeup, if not the biggest aspect, because obviously you need to match your skin to your tan. And realistically, your face should be a few shades lighter than your body, but if it is drastically different, judges will count off. We've seen that in stage photos where you get your photos back and maybe your face is completely washed out while your body's tan. That is what we don't want. And the foundation base that I'm recommending today is a pretty generalized match for most tans, but coming from a professional, it is a way better idea to let a professional match you and not have to worry about a thing on show day than to have to freak out about it and have anxiety over it. With that being said, if you are comfortable doing your own makeup and feel like this is something that's in your wheelhouse, then by all means, follow this tutorial and you will be good to go. So stay tuned. Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get right into it. I am starting out with a primer. If you are doing makeup on yourself, especially for competition, you want to make sure that it stays on all day long. A primer and a setting powder and spray are going to ensure that that happens. So starting off, I'm using one of two primers. I'm either using Born to Glow or Can't Stop Won't Stop by NYX. The deciding factor on these two, these are both great products. I love NYX primers. I feel like they really last all day. I mean, you get the most bang for your buck. They're super budget friendly. Born to Glow is if you have drier skin. If your skin is already dry and matte, we don't need to worry about mattifying it even more. If you are oily, as I am, we're going to use the Can't Stop Won't Stop because this has a mattifier built in, and that's what we want, especially for competition day. Take a pea-size amount, rub it. Make sure you get it in, especially work it into the T-zone. Perfect. Okay. Next, we are going in with the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Glow Foundation. This is in the shade 212 or Cocoa. This is a great product. It really lasts 24 hours all day, and on a show day that can range anywhere from 6 or 7 in the morning when you're doing your makeup to 8 or 9 o'clock at night by the time finals get over with. So you definitely want a foundation that's going to last all day and not get streaky. So this is one from the drugstore that I absolutely recommend. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a beauty blender. Boom, 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 there we go. Take this down your neck because you want it to be blended with your tan. Step one, complete. Now we are going to move on to our contour and highlight. I am going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape, and this is in the color light to medium. I find that's a really good match for show day color. I'm going to take this right underneath my eyes. And I kind of make almost a triangle in that area with my strokes. Just like that. Middle of the nose. We're gonna do 3 streaks here. go on either side of our jaw. This is what our lightening should look like. And that's simply what we're doing. We're highlighting certain areas of the face that we want to be brighter. So I used a dry beauty sponge before with our foundation. I'm now switching gears and I'm using a completely different sponge than before. This is still dry. I prefer using a dry beauty sponge at all times. Some artists though will take a setting spray if you have drier skin and will spray the sponge and then press. I find when I do that method that my under eyes end up being extremely crepey. So it's really kind of trial and error on whether or not you should be spraying your beauty blender. It depends on your skin texture, your skin type, things like that. I personally have combination oily skin, so I never need the extra dampness on the sponge. Now, I'm going, how long has that spot been there? Jeez. Okay, so now I am dabbing underneath my eyes and I'm gonna look up and get right in that area and blending this up. I'm also going to take my beauty blender and take it down my nose. So we're just hitting that little triangle area. Notice how that already brightened up that under eye area. Again, the motion is push, push, push. I'm also going to take the excess that's on my sponge and just sweep it over my eyelids. Next, we are going to hit our nose and forehead. So again, dab, dab, dab. You can already see how that's already creating a contour on my nose without even me adding any darker color. So that's kind of why we highlight the middle portion of the nose. And now for cheeks. You'll notice too, I'm just stamping this where we want it to go. And I'm taking it to about here and just letting it fall off. Perfect, we are brightened up. Now we are going to go in with our contour. I am using the Maybelline Fit Me Cover Stick, and this is in the shade 355 in Coconut. Literally like a crayon, just drawing this back and forth. Sides of my forehead. And I also want to go down my nose. Follow the natural line that my highlight has made. And you want to bring it together. Perfect. And then we are also going to go along our jawline. Now when you're in prep condition, your jaw is going to be poppin', but you still should do this step just to add a little extra depth. So we're gonna follow our natural jaw. We're looking good. Okay, so we use this side of the beauty blender, the rounded side, to do our under eyes and stipple in that area. We're now going to use the contoured side to do our contour. This also is the Morphe beauty blender, and I love their beauty blenders. So if you're looking for a recommendation on a beauty blender, this is my go-to. Push, push, push our contour. We're also going to take this up our forehead, and notice I'm pushing this into my hairline. I'm gonna skip the jawline on this side for now and go ahead and do my other cheek. Beautiful. See how we're getting a nice contour going. So I'm gonna get close and I'm just going to take this and just sweep it down, sweep across, sweep down again. And I am going to kind of take this up towards my brows. So this is easy. We're just sweeping this across and pushing it down. We are now going to set all of this. Setting powder can be a little bit tricky when it comes to stage makeup, because if you remember, you're having your picture taken with flash. So if you're using the wrong setting powder, you can get something called flashback, which is when your face looks like a powdered donut, and we don't want that. So the one setting powder that any makeup artist will tell you is good for stage is the RCMA setting powder. This is called the no color powder. It's a translucent powder. This is a staple in any makeup artist kit. This you cannot find in drugstores. You have to order this online. However, it is extremely affordable. What we're going to do, I have poured that into a lid, a mixing dish. We're going to take the rounded side of our dry beauty blender and we're going to pick up a lot of that product, and we're going to push this under our eyes. Right like that. Go up the sides of your nose as well. Side of the nose. Middle of our nose. So what is the purpose of baking like this? Basically, what letting this powder sit on your skin does is it's going to add a brightness to that area that just a powder or just a foundation or just a concealer alone will not do. So placing a concealer, Tarte Shape Tape, with a setting powder or a translucent or a banana powder over top of that just amplifies the brightness in that area. And your under eyes and underneath your cheekbones are the hot spots for that. We don't bake the entire face just because you don't want your entire face being, as I said, a powdered donut. Another question is, how long do we bake? And the answer to that is as long as you want. I mean, I bake in my everyday life maybe 2 to 3 minutes. If I'm feeling real crazy, I'll go 5 to 6, and normally when that happens, I'm doing other parts of my makeup. But really, the powder itself doesn't need to be on there for longer than that. It doesn't need to be on for 10-15 minutes, which is a common misconception, and I get that question pretty frequently. You know, do you have to bake for 15 minutes? No, absolutely not. This is a very powerful product, and honestly, I find the whole baking process to be a little bit drying, even for my oily skin. Like, I don't like the way it feels, so I personally like to get it off like as soon as possible. I'm going to go ahead and sweep this off. So I'm starting with the nose. There's nothing on this kabuki. Sweep, look at that. Yes, honey, we are getting snatched. Just sweep. Yes. So I am going to take a little bit of the RCMA powder on my kabuki, as you can see, and we're gonna swirl this around the places that we just didn't hit. So we're just gonna swirl this forehead, cheeks, upper lip. Oh my goodness, competitors, your upper lip will get so sweaty when you're on stage because of the heat of the lights and you're nervous and, you know, all that jazz. Make sure you hit this area. And your chin. Everything has been set. Next, I'm going to go in with my powder contour. The reason that I do my contour after we put the RCMA powder everywhere is because I don't want the RCMA to lighten any of our work we're gonna do on our cheeks at all, because we want the cheekbones poppin', baby. So I'm going to grab a brush like this. It's an angled brush. This is going to make your work so much easier. I am using the Morphe Highlight and Contour Palette in the color Fabulous, and I'm dipping my brush in there, and we're going to hit these cheekbones. Take this up again on our hairline. Slanted tip, take it on the sides of your nose. Our contouring and highlight are now complete, so now we are going to move on to the eyes. I get asked frequently why I do my foundation contour highlight before my eyes, and my response is always the same. As an artist, I want to start with a blank canvas. So that means if I'm trying to work on my eyes and I have dark circles or discoloration or anything like that, it's going to throw off my perception of what the final project is going to look like, the final picture. So I always recommend starting with your foundation contour highlight so that you start with a very clean and neat base. So that is my reasoning behind that. For our eyes, we are using these Maybelline quads. I wanted to make this as easy as possible for you guys. We are going to be using the Lavender Smokes quad, and basically it has your base, crease, inner corner, and your lid color all in one. So it makes it so easy to use. So I'm starting with the base color here, and I'm going to be using a brush about this size to go ahead and place it. Now you guys remember that we put a sweep of our concealer that was left over on our lid. So we're already pretty much set. I don't use primers on my eyes. I know a lot of people do. I find Tarte Shape Tape works perfectly fine for me and doesn't crease. So I prefer to just, you know, do a one product stop and just sweep that over. I've never had any issues with using the Tarte Shape Tape. We're going to use a flat brush to apply this, and we're going to apply this on our lid only. This is just deepening that a little bit more. And I'm also not taking this all the way to my inner corner. I'm just applying it in this area. Now we are going to take our crease color, this dark smoke, and I'm going to take a brush about that size, and we are going to windshield wiper this in our crease, starting in this outer corner and sweeping in. Beautiful. Okay, now we are going to go in with our eyeliner. So now we are taking the Revlon ColorStay pen in black, and I'm actually going to line my upper waterline. This is a total trick that I use even in my everyday makeup looks, to just make your lash line look a little more seamless and thick and full. Now we are going to use the Revlon ColorStay liquid liner in this pot, and this is in Blackest black. Okay, so before we go in with lashes, which is our next step, I'm going to take you through brows. I am using the Revlon ColorStay brow pencil in soft brown. We're going to take our pen and start making quick motions just to fill in, make it a little darker, fill in any gaps. So again, just filling in, starting with the head of my eyebrow and just darkening them up a little. Also look for, coming up in the next few weeks, a full-blown how to apply lash tutorial. I'm not going to cover that in this video because this is strictly about stage makeup. That video will be coming because I know a lot of people have questions regarding lash application. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these bad boys on. Boom, my eyes just went from 0 to 100 real quick. While we're waiting for the glue to dry on our eyes, I'm going to go ahead and do my bottom waterline. So one of my biggest tricks for stage is to use white eyeliner on your waterline. This is the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil. Go ahead and place this on 3/4 of the waterline. We're not going to take this all the way to our inner corner. But look at that, look how much that brightens your under eye area. White eyeliner for stage is an absolute must. We're going to go back to our Maybelline Lavender Smokes, and we're going to take our crease color, which was this dark color here, and we're going to take an angled brush, dab it in that dark color, and we're going to take this right along our waterline, right underneath where we just placed that white. Okay, while we're still kind of gonna give our eyes a minute because our next step's going to be to curl our upper lashes, and you definitely wanna give your eyes enough time to bond with the glue, your own lashes, because otherwise curling will rip your false lash right off. So in order to ensure that you don't rush that step, we're gonna go ahead and blush and highlight our cheek area. We are going to go in with our blush. My all-time favorite for stage is the Milan Luminous blush. And this just has a really nice natural glow, and the color is like corally and beautiful, and it just looks amazing. And next, this is not a drugstore product, but it's only because I don't have a drugstore highlighter in my arsenal that I feel like really takes it to this level. So if you're gonna splurge on something, I would make it a highlight, just because highlight is so important for stage makeup. I am using the Kylie Cosmetics Cheers Darling, and we're going to take this right above our contour and V it. Beautiful. We're also going to take this and run it on the tip of our nose and do a quick sweep up to our forehead and a little on our chin. So while we have our highlighter handy, we are going to take a small brush, take a little bit of this highlight, and we're going to place it on our inner corner and meet the dark color that we did. So we're doing the first fourth of our eye with a highlight. That's really just gonna tie it all together. We're also placing this highlight underneath our brow bone. Look at what a difference that makes. Yes, honey. And you are good to glow. Alrighty, it is time to marry our real lashes with our falsies. So I'm going to curl my lashes and I'll be right back. My favorite mascara to use for stage and to marry falsies with your real lashes is the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Carbon Black Mascara. Just like that. Bottom lashes. We are 2 steps away from being completely done with our stage look. I absolutely love using the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Matte lipsticks. You want a matte, long-wearing lipstick that's going to stay on all day because you're starting at 6 in the morning and finishing around 8 or 9 when finals are over. So if you're not able to touch up your lips, you want a color that's going to stand out and look great all day. Our last and final step is obviously the most important, glitter for your eyes. I've tried out a lot of different glitters, drugstore, high-end, all of that, and I recommend the Stila glitter. This is the only glitter that stays in place, isn't messy, and will give you those gorgeous glittery eyes that you want for stage. I'm just going to apply this right over the shadow, and I'm just applying it on the lid all the way down to my inner corner. Not going over our liquid liner, we're just going right above it on the lid. Ta-da! And last, we are going to set this masterpiece with the Too Faced Hangover 3-in-1 RX Setting Spray. This helps moisturize your skin with coconut water, and it helps set everything so it won't move the rest of the day. So go ahead and give yourself a spritz, and girl, you are stage ready. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking this video out. I hope it was helpful. If you have any comments about any of the products I used, or steps, or anything else regarding stage makeup, please drop them below. Like and subscribe, and I will see you next time.